Hello, I'm Dawn. This is Yarn is a Sport, and thank you for coming by to play ball. It has been a few weeks. I do apologize. I really think that once I get a craft area set up, this will be more regular. I want to thank those that stop by, and I'm doing the best I can right now. As you can see, we're in the midst of redoing a house. Things are still chaotic, and I don't know who's watching, who's regular watching, but I do want to remind you that I do the Osmond method, meaning one take and no editing. So, well, they edited, but I'm going to give you an update on the Afghan I'm doing for the 10th anniversary for my godchild. This is the sample that I did to give me an idea as far as color combination and order. And it is done with Hobie Rainbow Cotton. And this is 8/4. And I am using a Susan Bates 3.25 hook. I have frogged, ripped out, redone, ripped out, redone, frogged. That is part of the design process. That's just the way it is. Even though I did the sample, I had an idea of stitches, but sometimes it just is a matter of having to do it. I started out with I think this is called Catherine's wheel. It is a 4-row, it's 2 rows alternated, so it makes it a 4-row pattern. Then this is just double crochet. These are cluster and V stitches, and then I did in between down 3 rows. I don't know if I've heard anyone speak of this stitch or method. It is what I call cascading. I've done it a long time. But I think in the last maybe 5 or 10 years, it's been called a waterfall stitch. Eventually I will do a tutorial on that, but if you have questions about it, please contact me. Then I did double crochet, and these are X stitches crossed over. And I don't know why this is tighter. I used the same hook. I think it was a matter of my tension at the time. Things have been a little stressful at times here. Then this, I don't know if you can see in that light. It is, oh, that's better. It is, words, Dawn, words. Basket weave, front post, back post. Then I did puff stitch, and let me see. Yeah, I did puff stitch. I don't think I did cascade in this one. I had done it at one point, but I wanted things to be different. So this is the puff stitch and V stitches. And then this is the moss stitch. And the way I did it to look polka dot is I did 1 row, 1 row, 2 rows, 1 row, 2 rows, 1 row, 2 rows. And the way you do that is you either chase it, which means go back to the color that you just ended, go back to the beginning where you started that one, and then chase it, or you bring the color up on the side. Then you don't have as many ends. a lot of the ends that are in the middle of this are because I started over. I thought I was done, cut, and like I had an entire section done twice and tore back all the way to this. I tore back to the beginning of the tulips. I tore back to here, and then I tore back to here. So and the yarn caddy, so funny. He goes, I don't think you need any more yarn ever. At the rate you're going, using, reusing, you'll just be able to use the same yarn forever. Yeah, funny. The last 2 rows of this section that I'm going to do are with the blue and the yellow, and I'm going to do a star stitch. So that is the section. I am doing what I call the Catherine wheel. I'm just going to start with the tulips. The Catherine wheel will be on the other end, but where the yellow is will be the pink, this pink. Because one is supposed to represent chrysanthemum and the other one is supposed to represent carnation, which is their birthdays for the bride and the groom. Birth months. Let me see. I think other than that, I wanted to let you know about, I did win a prize. I won 3 Della Q snap bags from Olga at Gotham Knits. I'll go get them so you guys can see them. I can pause it. I learned how to do that. Okay, so I won 3 bags from Gotham Knits. These are Della Q. These are great, especially to put in all of your little containers of stitch markers. And I have a tube that I have my darning needles in. This one I will probably use, I'm sorry, I'm covering my mouth. I will probably use this one for to wrangle a ball of yarn, and this one the same thing. I could do 2 in this one definitely. And if you don't have, Chevis calls them yarn condoms. At our house I call them straps, because they're like a jock strap and we got to do sports stuff. Or cup, but if you have those, you could put in. Otherwise, if you use just a Ziploc bag, the yarn isn't going to be staying in the plastic, but it's just enough to keep them separate. And I'm just saying, sometimes that's what I do so that I can see how much yarn I have. I personally don't do the ones that you knit or crochet. That's just, I just find it easier to see what is there and how I'm going with it. Let me see. Okay, so Olga has been de-stashing on Whatnot, I believe the app is. But she has Gotham Knits, and she has got some really funny reels. Her husband is in them sometimes. But that is somebody that I like to. She does a lot of shawls. She has a lot of patterns. But that's a great channel. She also has an Instagram. Then I have not done anything else on the Boggy Creek blanket that I'm doing right now. Nancy of She's Got Yarn is going to be promoting that, I think, closer to August. and having you send them to her, I'm thinking October, end of October, so that they can collect them again this year. The blankets need to be 35 to 40 inches wide and 40 to 50 inches long. I told her she would have 12 from me this year. She shall. I'm a quarter of the way done with March and yarn selected for April. So I'm a little behind, but I really want to get this other gift done. And I will have the information below. I got Happy Mail yarn swap from Nina's Knots Crochet, and she asked me what I'm going to do with it, and it's novelty yarns, which I will, she went over what she had. I think a lot of the people that watch me watch her. I will link that episode down below. Novelty yarn. She goes, "What do you do with them? They're just so." And I told her I like to do jackets, and the ones I had have been given because I was trying to downsize at the time. But I will be doing more of them because I really like doing this. And one that's similar in a bigger yarn is called the Party Cardi, and that is by Knit Collage. And that's similar to what I do. I like using the novelties as accent. I will do, if I'm knitting, I will knit in a row across, and then I will crochet another chain up to make it like a plaid or a check. Sometimes I just use them to trim pockets, cuffs, collars, hems. I have also done a scarf, and it is packed somewhere. My favorite one that I've done out of a novelty, and I get comments on it every time I wear it. And when I find that, I will show you. But I will do a segment in novelty. I will be doing one in scraps, which Olga of Gotham Knits has allowed me to get her scraps. And I will show you what I do with them. But I do inch long, 2-inch long. I keep them, and then I have the bigger sections. The bigger sections go into like rag rugs, or right now I'm saving to do a Larke Bagger, kind of like a, it's similar to Wool and Pines sea glass sweater, just a scrap sweater. The ones that are 2 inches long and 1 inch long are put into different bags according to the content of the yarn. And I use those on burlap, like latch hook. I'll get a piece of burlap and I make a scrap rug with it. I don't necessarily do ombre. I don't do rainbow. I just, as I pull it out, that's what goes in. I don't have one of those started. I did find burlap for one, so that's something I can do in the future. Larke Bagger is coming out with the second book. I'm excited to get that one. I did review her first book, I believe in December. And it shows like a book with 4 different, that's what the thumbnail happens to be. I leave that up to chance because I don't edit. So Nina's Knots Crochet, I got the novelty in the yarn swap. And then Jackie from Crochet AT is doing a Tank and Tease 23 with Nina's Knots Crochet. Now Nina's Knots Crochet also has Crochet for Me 23, still going on to the end of the year. I will have things finished for that too. But she and Jackie from Crochet 80, which I will link it below because it's Crochet 80 ADHD, but it's just spelled Croach ADHD. They are doing Tanks and Tees 23. They have a pattern that you can do for the Cal, which this is crochet. But you can also do any crochet pattern that is a tank or a tee. And Jackie is just a few short for subscribers. She's really trying to get to 2,000 by the 4th of May. Please go over and subscribe and show some love there. Also, Nina's Knots Crochet. Watch. I really like her. I love Nancy if she's got yarn too. And Olga just brightens my day when she puts out a new reel. My contact information will be listed below. If you have any questions, please contact me. Enjoy your crafting, be it hairpin lace, crochet, Tunisian, knitting, tatting, whatever it is, spinning, weaving, enjoy it. Do it for you. Don't feel obligated to rip out. The mistakes, they're design features to prove that it's homemade. Don't put pressure on yourself. Enjoy it. Do what feels right to you. Thank you for coming by to Play Ball. I'll try to be quicker on my podcasts. Thanks for coming by.